Hi guys, Simply Monica here. Just talking about my move to Delaware. It's been 3 weeks now, and it's been interesting. I would say that it's similar to New York as far as what I experienced. Anyway, I got a stray cat. I got a siren that goes off every night. I got noisy neighbors. There's trash and stuff like that. You have to watch out for doggy poo in certain places and stuff like that. But it's different because it's quiet. It's definitely quiet. Me and my son went to a different part of Delaware, Delaware City. Oh my goodness, it was so dead on a Saturday, mind you. It was like no cars out. Everybody was in their house or at whatever location they were at. But here we are on a Saturday at about 3 o'clock or so in the afternoon on a warm Saturday, one of the warmest Saturdays that we've had so far, definitely in January. And nobody was out. The stores was not open. It was just like a desert town. So it is shocking to me. But then it's definitely, even in the winter, people stay inside. They mind their business. They, you know, just don't do much. And again, I'm new here, so I really don't know what there is to do as far as activities and so forth. But in the summer, almost every state and place has the same things to do for the summer, which is amusement parks, water parks, festivals, some sort of rides, car shows and plays, and it's the same almost everywhere, unless you live in Alaska or something. But in the winter, places do different things here because everybody's inside. But here, there's not that much to do in the winter that I have found yet. Of course, I'm still new, so I don't have any friends, anything like that. But it is quiet, and I almost feel like I'm going stir crazy in the beginning. Now, when if I'm feeling like I'm stir crazy in 6 months, then we got a problem. But 3 weeks, it's okay, because I don't know anybody. I know my sister, of course, but I don't really know anybody else. So we'll see. Then let's see. It's nice. I'm living in a decent area. Um, it's only 2 hours from New York. So if at any time I feel homesick or whatever, I can just go back up to New York, and it's only right there, so it's not bad. And straight down the Jersey Turnpike, and you can hit one location and hit the other location, and you're good to go. Um, let's see, it's decent around here. No loud music, no craziness, no you'll hear people talking on the street. At least in the winter, even though in New York you can hear everybody and everything in the winter. Doesn't matter if it's winter, spring, summer, or fall. You can hear somebody's business. But here, people keep to themselves and they're quiet. At least where I'm living, people keep to themselves. It's quiet. It's calm. It's just simple. And let's see what else. They do have really big animals over here. And oh my God, the other day, right? The other day I was hearing this noise. Me and my son looked up at the sky. It was like thousands of birds migrating somewhere. I have no clue what kind of birds, but they were black anyway. They weren't geese because geese don't migrate in the thousands like that. And I want to say migrate is because it was a whole bunch of them moving at the same time. But ooh, it was scary. I feel like am I in the birds? Like these birds were everywhere, and it was just like hundreds of them. And they all went one way. The next day we saw them again going another way. I'm like, only in Delaware, and actually only in further outside of New York. Tell you the truth, you don't get those things like that in New York. You get pigeons in New York, and that's it. Then one time we was going down the street, going to some store or whatever have you, and we looked over. And we see these huge birds in the yard, just doing their bird thing. So I'm like, what is that? I looked, and I'm like, they had the largest wingspan ever. So they had to be like falcons. They wasn't crows. but they had to be like falcons or something like that. I'm like, falcons in Delaware? Now I know when I went to visit North Carolina the last time, we saw vultures in the air. I'm like, now you know you in the country. You know you in the country when you start seeing birds of prey hanging out on the ground. In New York, all we have is seagulls, and they not birds of prey. They they're technically supposed to eat fish and whatever and hang out by the water. So that's our largest bird that we have to deal with, and some ding dang annoying pigeons. Other than that, fine. But oh, and the rats. Let's not forget that. Those are birds of prey. They ain't going. They might as well be. But those falcons, I'm like, and they're just hanging out on the ground in somebody's yard. It was like almost a light wooded area. So it had trees, but it had like sparse trees. So they were just hanging out on the ground, just doing their bird thing. And then one bird opened their wings. I'm like, I said, oh no, I'm in the jungle now. I'm like, it's time to go. So then we saw the swarm of birds in the sky and whatnot. I'm like, oh no. But anyway, so I'm in a good location because everything I ever wanted or needed is right around here. Anything is right within a 5 minute or less range. I say it's even less, but I was 5 minutes just for little leniency there, traffic or whatever have you. I can come out my block and walk around the corner to Walmart. Great. There's 2 bus stops that's right near me that can come right out the same little complex, and there's 2 bus stops. I'm still figuring out where they go, but there's bus stops right there. And when you come outside of New York, you don't have that convenience of stores and public transportation. That's what I'm looking for. You don't have that convenience of things like that anymore. So to have bus stops right outside my door is a blessing because I didn't want to move anywhere where I couldn't be. It wouldn't be convenient for me to get around. That I always have to rely on a car. So what if? And I'm single. So what if your car breaks down? What if something happens? And sometimes things just happen for that day, and then tomorrow it'll be fine. But what if that happens and I can't get to work, or I can't take my son to school, or whatever have you? I need an alternative method. So, and if there's no buses or public transportation anywhere, then what am I going to do? So, so I was happy to see 2 bus stops right out there, easy and convenient, and most you see a lot of people waiting for it. So it's obviously runs on a regular schedule. Now I don't know how late it runs, like if it runs to like 8 o'clock or whatever have you, but it does run regularly because I see people going to work and coming home, and around 3, 4 o'clock I see people still waiting at the bus stop. So I'm like, that's great to know. And then I have an Applebee's within the same Walmart lot. Applebee's is there. Further down I have a 24-hour Pathmark, Stop and Shop. Let's see, I got Home Depot, Fridays, Staples. I got car dealerships near me, which is so cute. Oh my God, I can't tell you. When God does something, He does it right. The whole point about God is that you just have to wait. What He does it well, and He does not need your help. You just have to do your part about getting to your blessing. As far as you have to do your preparation for it. But in my case, it was packing, looking up different locations or whatever have you. And when God was ready to move me, then He decided to move me in His time. And that's the thing about God. He works in His time, not your time, not anybody else's time, not when you feel like you should go or whatever have you. It's definitely in His time. And when He does work in His time, He works so perfectly that you would never be able to choose that on your own. Never. So, I have car dealerships near me, right? Why is that a blessing? Because my car is from '04. So we're looking at 8 years old. And technically, in a car's lifetime, it's almost over the hill. Cars are meant to last, I think, 8 to 10 years or so. People get new cars. So, you should get a new car because Even if the car body and the inside is not old, it's the car's engine that's the problem. And of course, if the engine fails, which is the brain of the car, then your car is done. But so my car is 8 years old, and it does have some damage on the back and everything. And I'm in a new state. I don't know where things are. I don't know where the best things are, and stuff like that. Lo and behold, about 2-3 minutes away from my house, I got my car a Toyota. I got a Toyota dealership, a genuine dealership, not one of those through somebody's used car lot type thing. No, a genuine Toyota dealership. I have a Ford dealership. I have a Nissan dealership. I do have a used car lot, one of the famous used car lots in Delaware near me. I have maybe 2 or 3 more in that whole span that's right near me. A car dealership. I mean, right outside my door. That's a wonderful thing for me because, you don't want to have to start traveling, at least for me anyway. I'm a city girl. So you don't have to start traveling 20-30 minutes to get somewhere. I mean, I have everything I need. Home goods. My son's school is closer in Delaware than it was in New York. Can't get any better than that. And it's a decent school. It's not perfect, but it's a decent school because the Delaware requirements are different. But so the school is right there. I'm able to get him up and get him out in the morning, no problem. It's convenient. There's Dunkin' Donuts here, so I can get a little something that I shouldn't be eating. There is, like I said, a 24-hour pass mark, which is great because in New York we have 24-hour stores. And you go there late at night. My mom used to always go to things like that. Like Thanksgiving, you need a pan, or you need some more cranberry sauce, or whatever the case is, and you will run out to the 24-hour store and you get what you need. But to see a 24-hour pass mark, child, I just put the icing on the cake, so I don't feel so isolated. Even if I feel isolated with all the other things going on, I don't feel so isolated because there's something I'm familiar with, and I can go there in case I need something or whatever. Because things usually close around here around 8 o'clock or so, 9 o'clock in that range, which is not terribly early, but still, What if I'm doing something and it's 12 o'clock, my son is sick or whatever? Where am I gonna go get medicine if I don't already have it? At 12 o'clock at night, nothing is open. But it's nice to see that, that is right there. So being a single mother, is you're not isolated to just nothing. So I can have everything. I have Wendy's over here, McDonald's, Burger King. Oh my God. I don't really eat fast food that much, but it's nice that they're here, just in case. So everything I want is here. I really can't complain. Somebody asked me, well, how are you doing and so forth. I said, I'm doing okay. I want to complain. I really do. I want to miss New York. I want to, be all mad and, hate this place and whatever. But so far, everything is smooth sailing. I got my Delaware ID already, my license already. That was smooth. I have to apply for the title for the car, get a new title, and that was smooth. Now I'm just looking for a job, and the job market is the same everywhere. But what the difference is that in New York, you have 1,000 people applying for that same job, which is it could be cashier, it could be bank teller, it could be CEO. Doesn't matter. It's 1,000 people or more applying for that same job. And with those applicants, you have to have a PhD. You have to be, have all these thousands of degrees and all these things. And you even have to have a darn near PhD to be a waitress. So that's my future. I spent $100,000 in loans, and that's my future, to be a waitress. There's something wrong with that. But in Delaware, it's less people applying for those same jobs, and you don't need degrees to be a bank teller necessarily. You don't need, you can have a customer service job, whatever. That's not a waitress, and that's not a cashier, and not have to be a PhD. So that's different. Also, the difference is in New York to Delaware is in New York is 24 hours. So you can, if you need to pick up extra money, you can work the graveyard shift, Or you can just work the graveyard shift anyway because nobody ever wants to work the graveyard shift. So, but you can work that. You can work tons of overtime because it's available. You can have 2 and 3 full-time jobs. You really can. So you can be working around the clock, but you can have two full-time jobs, or full-time and a part-time, or something like that. And because New York is geared around work, 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 you know, faster, harder, smarter. Nope, we don't want you to spend time with your families. Nope, we don't want you to spend time on your health and make sure you're eating right and exercising or whatever have you. Nope, we want you to make money for our city, and that's the most important thing. So they dangle that little carrot out in front of you and say, you can reach this goal. Go ahead, go ahead. But little do you know that carrot keeps moving. And it keeps moving with all the tax cuts. And it keeps moving with all they taking things away from you, Social Security, and all these taxes and fees and toll hikes and MetroCard hikes and all those things. That's how they keep that carrot away from you. Because you can't afford to do anything else but keep running that race in hopes of getting to that carrot, but it's not going to work. In Delaware, it's a little bit different from what I see thus far. I did a research before I even came down here. It's harder. I mean, it's hard in Delaware, but it's not as hard because Delaware is more focused on family. The quality of people is different here. Now, even in New York, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are selfish in the respect that it's cutthroat there. People here are more centered on family, and they want to be home when the lights go out, the street lights go out, because they have to attend to their family and their kids, and they have to eat dinner and wash clothes and do all those family things. So things tend to close early, one, and sometimes some stores don't even open on Sunday. That is so unheard of in New York. But people want to be with their families, and so it's not about harder, smarter, and faster. It's about more being comfortable, more about how things used to be back in the days, back in the 80s and stuff. Things used to be like that, where it's about family and it's about your relationships and so forth. But this time has changed, economy has changed, and everything, and it's just like just so crazy nowadays. But because we're just so materialistic with everything, we need those new pair of shoes or that new house or that new pocketbook, and that's what's most important. So we're gonna work 12 hours to get that new pocketbook. But little do we know we're killing ourselves because we're not eating right, we're not exercising, we don't spend any time with our family, our children and so far growing up without us. So, but it's like, okay, but we got that new pair of shoes, or we got that new house, or we impressed Miss So-and-so down the block. Anyway, I digress. So, so here it's a little bit different. So, but the problem is that being that I'm a city girl, if I wanted to have a job and if I wanted to make a little extra money, where could you do that at? Because I'm single again, so I don't have all the benefits of being married. So, or being taken, boyfriend, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so picking up extra money, besides getting an actual full-time job, I didn't really see too much overtime work. You have to work nights and weekends sometimes, and of course that's normal, just depending on the job. But as far as overtime, I didn't really see that too much because, again, you get off at 4, where there's overtime, because if the place closed at 9, or the place closed at 8. So, it has definitely just been interesting living in Delaware. The other day, this man came around knocking on the door. So I'm like, who is it? And the guy was saying whatever he said. And at the time I didn't know. So he was like, da-da-da. So I'm like, oh, you have the wrong apartment. So he was like, no, I don't. And then he was like, I'm from da-da-da. And I couldn't hear it again, it's through the door. And for me, I'm a city girl. I do not open the door for anybody unless I know who you are or I'm expecting you, either or. So fine. So so he was like, I'm from da da da, and he was like, I said, no, you have the wrong apartment. And I said, well, what name are you looking for? Because again, I'm new here. Maybe they do things differently, or maybe they really mispronouncing my name or whatever have you. So he was like, no, I'm from there. He said the capital meat. And I'm like, meat? So he was like, yeah, meat. So I said, let me open this door. Let me see. So I opened the door. The man standing outside talking about, do you like chicken? Do you like steak? Do you like burgers? I'm like, huh? Like, who does that? So basically, he was selling meat door to door. I'm just like, are you serious? You are really selling meat door to door? Now, it is from a company, so it's not like, I did call him Hustle Man, though, at the end, because I'm like, here you are selling meat door to door. He had the Hustle Man look on, the big afro, the big, he had stuff in his hand, almost the way he talks and everything. And I've heard this company before, because my mom used either that company or something similar to it when I was in New York. But I'm like, but usually you get a catalog and then you order through the catalog. So that's how we did it before. Nobody came door to door hustling no meat. So when he did that, I'm just like, you are hustling meat door to door. Okay. So his name was Hustle Man. And then it turns out he was from New York. He was from New York, Harlem, and everything. And he said he left because he met his wife and, da da da. And then he married her and he came to Delaware. And so he said, I said, why did you pick Delaware? He said, because I got all the partying and all that stuff out of my system. And I'm like, yeah, you have to get it out of your system to live anywhere outside of New York. You have to give away all the partying, all the nightlife, all the extra activities and the hoopla, all that stuff to live outside of New York. Now, they have other fun things to do, but it's not like New York. There's no place in the world like New York. They come close, but not like New York at all. So you have to be prepared to give that up to live outside of New York. But the good thing about living in Delaware is that it's close to New York. So you can 2 hours away, 3 hours away, you can, just drive there, and that's not a big deal. You can do that in a one-day thing, a turnaround. So you can just go there and get your partying on or whatever have you, come back that night or spend the night and come back the next day, and it's not that big of a deal. It's not like it's 4 or 5 hours that you got to start traveling for. So, but anyway, back to Hustle Man. So he basically hustled me into buying some meats, which is okay because I needed extra meat, beef, and he had a lot, and I got it for a good deal, and they were fresh and all that good stuff. But I'm just like, who does that? He said that happens a lot in the South. I'm like, no, one, Delaware is not the South, but they do have Southern qualities about them. But I'm like, you hustling meat door to door. I don't know. It's gonna take a lot for me to get used to. But anyway, so it's been an interesting experience. It definitely has been. Their practices and stuff like that. So I try not to go too New Yorker on everybody. And mind you, Hustle Man was telling me all about the cuts and meat. Now mind you, I'm a chef by trade. Okay, I have a degree and the whole 9 yards. I'm a chef. That's why I promote my Monica East New York blog, and because I have recipes and blah blah blah. Because that's my life. I love food. Okay, fine. So, but I don't tell everybody or whatever have you because I don't want people to be like, oh, well, you think you know everything, or people to be questioning me every single second about food, right? Which I don't mind because if I know, I'm sure going to tell you because I love food, or I will find out. But anyway, so he's telling me all about the cuts of meat and why the meat should be red and why some meats aren't red and different cows and stuff like that. I'm just looking at him. I'm like, first of all, he see me. And he did see my son. My son is as tall as me, so he's a little intimidating. So I'm like, good. But he sees me, and he sees technically no man in the house. At that time anyway. And so he's like, okay, well I can hustle her on the cuts of meat and all these and tell the woman how things are supposed to go. You know how that goes, women. When you go into car shops and dealerships and all those things, and you automatically get the woman treatment. Yeah. Exactly, or any sort of man environment, you get that, and so that's what I got. So he tried to tell me about the cuts in me, and why this is better than that type of meat, and all those things. And I just looked at him, and I was like, no, it goes like this, that, and the third. So he tried to counter me, and I was gonna say, I do this for a living. I know how it goes, but I don't want to seem like a know-it-all, of course, because I could be wrong or whatever. There's like possibility in that case. But I just let him go on. I'm just like, because he's the woman, and I don't look like a chef. So, he's just like, well, let me just tell her whatever, and she'll believe it. And I'm just like, sad. Anyway, but it's been interesting. It's definitely been interesting. I like my sister's here, and she's close, 20 minutes away. And, it's nice. It's okay. It's not bad. So I give it a year. I give it a whole year from December to December, 2012 to 2013, and to really see what or how my life is going to be, what the differences are and what the benefits are really going to be. So, so we'll see. We'll see. It's definitely a process. It's definitely new, but I don't really miss home because I have a lot of reminders here, which is only God can do, only. So, so that's nice. And I don't really want for anything as far as, in New York, the 24-hour store. No, that's 24-hour Pathmark. No, they're not selling blunts and Lucy's, but they are, I can still buy food and lotto and whatever have you, and bread and so forth like that. They do have, all the gas stations sell lotto and, that type of thing. Interestingly enough, down here, they have the New York Times. We in Delaware. This is not Jersey. Jersey, okay, you can kind of expect, at least Upper Jersey. But Delaware, you got the New York Times. A shame. Anyway, and I know people do commute though, but still. But um, you know, there's if I need, some sort of quick food, fast food, whatever, to remind me of home. I got Wendy's, McDonald's, and Burger King, and Fridays, and all that stuff right there. If I need anything for the home, home store or whatever, instead of finding my way and getting lost and 20 minutes away or whatever, I got Walmart right here, Home Depot right there. There's a nice mall. It's about 20 minutes away as well. But it has Macy's and Lord and Taylor and not Lord and Taylor, Nordstrom and everything else that I need. So yeah, not bad, not bad at all. But anyway, that's my journey for 3 weeks, and I'm waiting on my furniture. Ugh, I bought furniture 2 weeks ago. The tentative date was today, the 21st, and I called. The customer service was supposed to call me and say when they're gonna come and deliver, but have they called me yet? No. So I called, knowing I know what I know, but you try to ask certain questions. Hopefully they'll tell you something different. Yeah. So I called this company, and I said I didn't get any confirmation, nor did I get the delivery. And, you gotta wait for them to call you, and they'll let you know what day and time. Da da da. I'm like, I'm disgusted. I need my furniture. Anyway, so that's about it. My hair, I did lock knots. And is it lock knots? No, not lock knots. I did Bantu knots. That's what I did. I did it yesterday because I was doing oiling my hair. Really oiling my hair, because usually my hair, when I wash my hair, my hair lasts 1 week as far as its neatness and its oiling, process and whatever. Then the next week, it starts to dry out really, and the curls or whatever starts to fall, and it starts itching more and that type of thing. I usually wash my hair every 3 weeks. I really want to wash it every 2 weeks, but I know that's too much. So, so I, was oiling my hair really well, with the spritz bottle and the pomade and the whole 9 yards and whatever. So I just said I wanted it off my neck because it's going to be wet. So I said, let me put in some lock knots. Not lock knots, Bantu knots. Keep saying that. Bantu knots. And they were all over my head, and I did it 3 at a time, And just to give it again some more body, and only left it in for a couple of hours. I should have left it in more, but Bantu knots are not the easiest thing to sleep on. So I just left it in, for a few hours, and that is that. So I just took 3 three or four, took my finger like this, wrapped it around, wait, my finger like this, wrapped it around. See, I have the little loopy thing there, and just wrapped and wrapped and wrapped. Now, mind you, even though I'm the age that I am, I'm still tender-headed in the top of my head, still tender-headed. So I just took the ends, and I just pushed it underneath it, took my finger out, Bantu knot for locks. Okay, that is it. And it stayed, it looked, good and everything. As you see, I have some definition. If I would have left it in for a lot longer, then it would be more defined, of course. So, and if I would have made them smaller. But like I said before, I have too many locks to be doing them individually or to be doing them two at a time. So I just did it 3 or 4 just to have big definition, and I do. But as you see in my back, I have, as my son calls it, spaghetti. So it's not really defined as it is the front, because like I said, the longer your hair and the thicker your hair, the slower it is to curl. So, and the slower it is to dry. So, but and that's how the back of my hair is. It's almost straight. It has a little bit of bend to it, but it's almost straight. So, but that's okay because it'll last me a week. I'll be doing different things with it. It'll last me a week, and then so that's 2 weeks. Then I have one more week, and then or half a week, and then I wash my hair again and have something totally different. So it's not terrible to me. But anyway, so and usually in the week 2, end of week 2, I start my ponytails because I'm just sick of my hair. I'm just like sick of it as far as it needs to be twisted, it needs to be washed, it just the curls fall a little bit, and whatever have you. Also, another tip for good curls is, as I forgot in the last video, but another tip for good curls is don't comb your curls out. You can finger them a little bit as far as shaping them a little bit like this, but if you comb it out all the way to get fuller volume, which I do understand, to get fuller volume, they fall faster. If you adjust them, let's say you have, this is a curl here, this is a curl here. If you just pull them apart a little bit, then you'll still get your volume. If you comb through them like such, they'll fall faster because the elements, the nature's elements, and your own sleeping habits and waking hairstyle habits and the whole 9 yards, when they're by themselves, the strands are by themselves, the locks are by themselves, then there's nothing to hold on to, and they just fall faster. When they have friends, if they're around, they kind of support each other. So that's my curl tip. Do not, for a longer hold, do not finger comb your locks. Anyway, I will see you later.